handout of that, and that's so you don't lose it.
Nice.
That is a detail of the tarot reading.
Madame Eva's prophecy.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
That damn gypsy lady.
Right? Of course, now I'm losing my voice after not having a problem all day. One moment. Don't know what that's about. So, last week, well, you addressed a final problem or two in Barovia Village as you set out from the Burgomaster's mansion to assist Irina and Ismark in burying their dearly departed father. Unfortunately, when you reached the Barovia Village Chapel, well, you discovered that the local priest had some issues of his own. It turns out Father Donovich's son Doru, who had been missing for some time, had recently returned, and not in the best of state. Um, though you didn't lay eyes on him, it did seem as though perhaps he had been bitten and turned into a vampire. You went back and forth about whether or not you ought to attempt to put him out of his misery or restrain him where he was. And the solution you arrived at was to reposition the church's altar, block him into the basement, and hope that he will remain chained for now, at least. Perhaps something that you can deal with later. But Ismark said he would make a point of checking in on Father Donovich and would see what they could do in order to make sure that situation stays stable. You struck out along the road with Irina, and after a few hours of travel through misty and rather gloomy lands, you came upon a fork in the road and chose at first to only send Ralmir and Ayakubachi to investigate the Tserpool encampment, which I thought was actually a very clever attempt at a scam with your use of the poor box that you took from the church.
Classic
But
dog box.
despite the gentleman that you tried it on, seemingly fully falling for it, uh, you unfortunately didn't come away with any coin, but instead just a hearty meal. And as you went to leave, a decrepit old Vistani lady pulled you aside and called you by name, Ralmir. She asked you to get your friends and pulled you all in for a tarot reading. Um, she certainly seems to believe fully that this is a actual act of divination magic, and given what some of you could sense, it probably seems as though that is the case. But after a much more pleasant encounter with these Vistani, and with her words perhaps heavy in your mind, I believe you've all chosen to start heading back down the road. Daylight is waning after all, and you're intending to reach Valaki before nightfall. Um, so, you know what? Let me do one thing real quick. This will make my life easier. I don't know why I haven't done this yet. Desktop. I know I gave it to you as a handout, but since you're going to be traveling across it often, I figure we ought to have a spoiler-free version of this map that we can have as a background. Just page size. Oh, that's actually a different map. Hold up. There we go. I did find a rather fun fan-made map as well, by the way, which is like truly shitty scribbles. And I thought that would be kind of a fun thing to have Ismark give you, but it's also not very useful. So
Slot
Just
script
2
for
lines.
Battle of Barovia.
General shape of where we are.
Or
Yeah.
is it like a MS Paint map?
No, it's like I don't want you guys to look too closely, so I'm gonna post it and then delete it in general. Please don't zoom in, but this way you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about.
I gotcha.
It's like just like actually scribbles.
Yeah, it just looks like mountains.
Yeah, but it kind of like makes sense for how a local
I just
might.
saw A's.
Yeah, it does look like it says. But yeah, I mean, if you think about it, a local with no cartography skills would probably be like, yeah, you go that way and it's past the mountains, and approximate.
Yeah, you give landmarks and amount of hours it'll maybe take you. There's no distance. I don't know. How many feet do I walk in an hour? That's how many feet it is.
Right, exactly. So yeah, we'll use this for our sort of general map. But yes, you have left the Pool at this point, and you are continuing west and then north along the road. Irina seems in good spirits after getting to kind of catch up with a few of the Vistani there, and they've sent you away with a wineskin for the road and some more meat and veggies on the way out, so you probably don't really need to like stop and have a meal unless you desire a break from walking. But you've only been at it for maybe, I don't know, 90 minutes, so it's not like it's been particularly long. And you did get to sit for a few. Yeah, please make whatever notes you want.
I'd assume this would be like our map.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
definitely put that like right
Yeah,
there.
this is in the handouts.
Let's go like right there.
And yeah, they are along, yeah, right there. You might want to use like, let's see, what would be a good color? No,
That's way too
no.
thick.
Just need to make the font bigger, really.
I didn't want to make it too big and like make it eye distracting.
That is probably a good font size there. As long as it's not overlapping the river that makes all the letters blend together.
That's facts.
All right. Okay.
Not that I will forget, but
And actually, technically, this goes more like that. Oh, I guess, yeah, no, it doesn't read as well. Anyhow, you head west. It is, kind of mid-morning by this point, not even quite midday. Um, and though it started reasonably sunny down in the valley, as you follow the road, not only do the trees grow closer and closer over the top of it, blocking more and more of the pale, limited sunlight you were getting before, but the chill kind of returns to the air. And in fact, it starts to lightly drizzle around the time that you're rounding this bend over here. Um, and as you are doing so, um, I think, I mean, plenty of passive perception. Um, you would notice it first, Ayakabachi and Ervir, but, only 20 or 30 feet later, sticking out from the undergrowth, maybe 40 feet from you now, is a small red scaly foot.
oh, bald friend.
Could it be?
I'm gonna slowly try to investigate, see if I see any signs of foul play.
Sure. So you're gonna kind of like creep up along, kind of the edge of the road, and are you sneaking, or are you just gonna like walk up and
I'll sneak up
go take
there.
a look?
In
Okay.
hunter fashion.
Since this has scales and it's more and it's in the forest and it's animal-esque. I mean, it's a kobold. I'm
That's
going
fucked
to
up.
take
Yeah.
out my handy dandy magnifying glass, and I'm going to sneak over, and I'm going to look for like footprints or clues. Maybe a sign
Okay.
of foul play.
Magnifying glass?
Oh, I got a magnifying glass.
Yes, is his backstory.
If we ever need to start a fire.
Right? It's also very useful. Um,
Let's spark his
so
photo.
go ahead and roll me stealth.
Stealth. Yeah. I am the knight.
Damn.
Crit.
So as you go to sneak up, like, I think, Ayakabachi has certainly shown his worth with a bow and with some of these skills before, but he goes to move up on this thing and blends so well into the undergrowth as he does so and moves so silently that I think all of you would lose track of him entirely. Um, you pick your way through. There's all sorts of
Where'd he
brambles and
go?
sort of yeah, right. He's gone. All sorts of brambles and low, like kind of tangling plants. But with your skill, nothing slows you down. And as you come up upon him, I think you'd probably actually approach not from the road itself, but from the undergrowth. Um, you notice that, well, the foot you saw is unfortunately not attached to the rest of him. Um, that lies several feet away in the undergrowth, further from the road. Um, and what's left is not a pretty sight. Go ahead and roll me investigation.
So is this like at this point, like is when like we notice too, or is it?
You've seen it, but he shot off ahead, sneakily to go catch up to him. But if you wanted to join him, you're welcome to do
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to focus on what I'm looking for, but all this blood has me so distracted.
Yeah, I think you all see the foot. He's the only one that sees the rest of the
Okay.
body,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So I will go over there. I guess I will do a stealth check as well.
Okay. Ralmer, probably being more used to the urban kind of sneakery, I think you'd get snarled a little bit on some of the thorns and stuff. You're not going to take any damage, but enough to like kind of accidentally make a bit of rustling noise as you come through. Um, but if you're following him, unless you have advantage on stealth inherently, I'm just taking the 8 otherwise because it's the first roll.
Yeah. I don't think I have any
Okay.
sort of.
But yeah, you'd find where the rest of this thing is too. And again, I think it might take you a moment to notice Ayakabachi like down on all fours with a magnifying glass. You'd probably see the glint of the glass before the rest of him as he's
Right.
perfectly blended in here. But yes, the body itself, Ayakabachi, I'm afraid, not a great investigation roll. So
So
other
much
than
blood. I love it.
leg amputated below the knee, and flung a few feet from him, and definitely all sorts of bite wounds. I don't think you can really make sense of the footprints though. But Rolmir, you see this mess as well as sort of like it looks as though the body cavity has been kind of ripped open, and there are pieces of him strewn about within a several foot radius.
Okay. Then I'll take a closer look at the body.
Psst, Raumir. You think he's gonna be okay?
um, Yeah, I think the best you can tell is that what did this is definitely. I mean, you've certainly seen the local wolf population. Large bites taken out of him, like something along those lines, and you would spot large padded footprints that look like they could be wolf tracks, but some of them are not like, wolf sized. They're like this big.
Okay.
Um, and I think you'd notice. So his face is pretty torn up too. Um, Clasped in a hand, though, even with a 12, I think you'd spot a small shred of purple cloth.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, then
Leaves.
I'll take the purple, or I'll grab the purple cloth.
Um, and
Do you want
like,
me to?
go
Do
ahead.
you, do you want me to do an investigation on the cloth too?
Yeah, sure, go for it if you're going to focus on that. 7. Um, I think even though that's like kind of a meh roll, the DC for this is very low given that you have the other piece of the clue. As you're kind of looking at it and the smell of kind of lilacs hits you again, you found the other piece as well. This definitely looks like it's torn from the same shawl that you were pretty sure Bev was wearing. And it matches with the other scrap that you found in the gatehouse east of Barovia Village. So either he came this far with them and lost them in some sort of scuffle here, or perhaps he had the shawl. but whatever it may be, there's a hint that other people who came in before you are moving this same direction. I'm afraid with kind of mid rolls, I can't give you too much more than that.
Right. Like
It's, it's been raining, it's muddy, a lot of the
Yeah.
footprints are kind of
Yeah.
muddled. It's hard to make sense of.
Can I like hand this the cloth over to Lakabachi though, and have him like do like a sniff it though for hunting or for tracking?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
So yeah, so I just go up to him though, and just be like, hey,
Will
this
you
looks like Bev's cloth,
communicate
though."
that you can't make a lot of sense of it? That you acknowledge what it is, but you don't have any other clues? Basically, I'm asking for an in-character reason to go slap Yakubachi on the back and cast guidance.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate the lack of metagaming there. That's nice of you.
Okay, yeah, we should take this back.
Yeah,
over
me and
to-
Irvi are just ditching her nuts right in the middle of the road. Just like, these guys just snuck off.
Right?
Yeah.
They're gone.
They just left his
Okay,
leg chilling here.
Okay, yeah, okay, fair enough. Hey, Lakabachi, we should go back to relay this information to everyone else too. So
Yeah.
found purple cloth though that looked like Bev's.
Yeah. Maybe she's in danger. Yeah, let's go. Let's go tell him. Also, let him know that I don't think our friend's gonna make it. The kobold sustained some injuries.
Irvir, can you put it back together?
Sorry, Jim, it's broken.
It was his time.
We're missing pieces, I'm afraid.
Some major organs.
Yeah, bowels. Who needs those?
It is strange that the wolves didn't eat him.
They ate a good 40%
He went for
of
the
them.
stomach, the vitamin
Oh,
part.
okay. More of him was
Yeah.
gone than it sounded like. Got
Sorry.
it.
didn't
Yes.
wanna-
Kind of. They ripped open the
It
body
sounded
cavity
like it
and
was
ate
more
the
out of-
organs.
Yeah,
And then
they-
hopefully-
malice
the
than-
belly parts.
Hopefully
Hunger.
maybe they had to leave
if-
in a hurry too because Bev got away, or maybe someone saved her. Hopefully, and they just said, "Fuck
Mhm.
this meal, let's go eat them." I don't know. Just
Well,
thinking
we
like
didn't find
just-
her disemboweled
I'm just
body.
thinking like a wolf
Yeah.
and or beast type creature.
Maybe out of malice is not a bad descriptor.
Yeah.
Food does not seem to have been the primary reason.
You took a look at the other scrap of this shawl, so hopefully you can glean something as well. I pray to Kellamvor that you do, and I cast guidance on Yakubachi.
All right. So you want to track then?
Yes, I'll give it a good sniff.
Yeah. Sniff, sniff. Go ahead and give me a survival roll with guidance.
19.
Very nice. Okay. Um, so as you kind of go to focus primarily on this scent, but also kind of track away from the body, following footprints, kind of trying to get an idea of what happened here. Again, the actual scene itself is a bit of a mess, other than spotting those large wolf prints, I think are the thing that really stand out. But it's a mix of the big ones and the small ones. So this was a group of wolves. You pick up a scent on the breeze that does seem to match this perfume. And for now, at the very least, it is following the road pretty closely. As you kind of follow it to the northeast a little ways, further along the road, you would find boot prints that do seem to be fairly narrow and do seem to have a fairly deep heel print, similar to the low-heeled boots that Bev was wearing at the tavern. And so, again, are you going to continue moving as you're tracking? You're not like going super slow, I assume. You don't find anything in the immediate area.
Yeah, up until a point where
Yes.
like maybe like the scent leads us away from the path we're going. Until then,
Okay.
we're just gonna follow the path. That's what I would do.
Yeah, and to that effect, actually, I think you would follow it along the path for a very long time, like to the point where, uh, you make it 30 minutes or so. Actually, before that 30-minute mark, you would follow it up as the elevation begins to grow here. The road takes a turn and like, not like a steep incline, but it's enough where you're walking uphill constantly. Starts to kind of wear on you a little bit at least. and you're kind of flitting from side to side, and it seems like this person was running for a lot of this, like an occasional spot where you can see like broken off bits of branches and whatnot, where like they leaned on a tree and caught their breath, but running and running. And you do start to see two sets of boot prints. Hers, or at least what you think are hers, and a larger pair that seem to belong to another human, or at least someone of approximately that size. Um, and eventually you would come across this little bridge at the top of the Tsar Falls. Similar to the bridge that was down low near Barovia Village, this is a very simple little cobblestone structure. Um, Up above you, there is a small waterfall that culminates in a little pool, nothing super deep or super wide, perhaps 30 feet across. The water travels swiftly under the bridge and perhaps only 60 or 70 feet downriver, falls over a good 80 or so foot drop. And from the top of the bridge, you can see kind of clearly out to where this would meet the Vistani encampment and the Tsar pool itself. In fact, you can see smoke from their campfire and even make out the tents from this distance. Um, as you continue, though, I think Irina would speak up. Um, I can tell that he's certainly intent upon following the scent of that scrap of cloth he found, but um, I'm afraid I don't understand why it's so important. Just kind of a question to the group of who is this that you're tracking? As I assume Ayakabachi is full wolfhound mode up ahead.
Mhm.
Not literally turned into a dog, but sniffing along the
I mean, he
ground
could.
and
On all
tracking.
fours. My companions. Bev has either grown another set of legs, or she's with someone. I can't tell. I'm just
Her
on the deep
father
in the
was
ground,
in the
just sniffing it.
inn when we left her. So presumably the two of them are traveling together.
More likely.
Or she grew another set of legs.
Or she grew another set of legs.
What he means to say, Irina, is that those were the proprietors of the tavern we all found ourselves at before being whisked away.
Ah, I see. That's why you had asked about others coming through the village. Um, right. Well, if the Morning Lord is kind, we'll find them in one piece. It certainly looks as though well, that other fellow might not have had such luck. Well, they've made it this far. Um, and as you progress along this kind of stretch here, the rain goes from a
Question to
drizzle.
interrupt, actually.
Yes,
Did they get a sense of how long ago Kobold's wounds were inflicted
um,
during their
kind of
investigation?
kind of low rolls. I will tell you that the
Okay.
blood was dry.
Okay. Good
Like
enough.
some of the body still had some, goop to it, but there's a lot of fluid in there. Um, but everything splashed around definitely had gone dry, and I will say there were flies and stuff already. So not super recent. That much you
Yeah.
can be sure of. But yes, the gloom of the day turns into a proper rainstorm. It's not blowing sideways or coming down in sheets, but it is a steady, dull rain. And Irina would actually stop for a moment, kind of half under the cover of a tree, and pull out a little cloak. Pull the hood way up so it shades her face. She's not getting soaked. Just kind of like a slate gray, just a little bit darker than the fog. Um, and as you're here, you notice she's getting nervous and keeps glancing off to the east. Um, and would probably even voice we're at one of the closest points to Castle Ravenloft along the route. Um, it's probably wise that we travel efficiently but quietly. Um, Especially on a day like today, where there's not even the least bit of sun. And you'd notice she would spend the next while with her hand resting on the hilt of her sword, like very tense.
If I take active perception and it's less than my passive, do I take a hit for just
You
spotting
do.
any threats?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a gamble.
Guess I won't do that then.
Yeah. You have a fairly hefty passive. I'd probably keep the passive.
Yeah.
Yes. So, as noted, the woods here have grown very dense. The brambles are starting to overgrow the path. And here in the mountains, the forest and the fog are inescapable. Ahead, the dirt road splits in two, widening as it travels eastward. Yes. There you see patches of cobblestone, suggesting that the eastern branch was once an important thoroughfare. Parked at the fork in the road, pointed east, is a large black carriage drawn by two black horses. The horses snort puffs of steamy breath into the chill mountain air, and as you approach, the side door of the carriage swings open silently on its hinges. Irina immediately draws the first 2 inches of her sword, and kind of huddles slightly back behind whoever might be up front. She's not been one to really show overt fear. She looks actively frightened. Rain falls softly, and there's no immediate anything from inside the carriage.
What does the rest of the party make of this situation?
I will get in maybe like a stance of like preparation. Not quite grabbing the bow yet, but like maybe like almost like a gunslinger, like getting his hands ready to grab something. Kind of just like
Yeah,
seeing what's gonna happen next, if anyone's gonna walk out of it, or if it's just gonna nothing. Well, I'll just wait.
Fair enough.
and I'll just like have just like my hand like on my sword though, just to be prepared.
Okay. A solid 10 seconds go by, 15 seconds go by, 30 seconds go by. Nothing. Just silence. One of the horses kind of stamps a foot impatiently.
Well,
Which way is Bev's scent still going, or did we lose it?
In the rain, it's been hard to tell, but since you've got a moment to kind of stand and focus, Sayokobachi, it does seem as though it goes east.
okay.
Ah, shit.
I'll take a little sniff of the air, and I'll like lean over to the team, and be like, the scent goes that way towards the man-made carriage and crazy-looking horses. I never seen horses like that. I've seen a lot of horses too.
As much as I'd love to chase after them, we did promises, Mark, that we'd get Irina safely to Valaki.
And as Ervir expresses that thought, a voice from behind your group, sort of rich and smooth and unlike the peasant rabble you've interacted with so far. Now, wouldn't you like to step out of the rain? And you turn to find a tall, broad-shouldered gentleman wearing extremely lavish clothing, a fine blood-red doublet and a wolfskin cloak draped over blue silk hanging behind him. He has long raven black hair and the palest skin you've ever seen on a person. And he just stands there, one hand on his cheek, a slight smile on his face. I would so love to have you all over for a chat. And Irina she'll whirl, draw the sword, and fully shaking, start to back away a few steps at a time.
Hand up jump scare.
Ah.
It's blank. Oh, there
Is
it
it?
is.
Yep,
It
it
should
loaded.
be.
Took
It's
a
there.
second to load.
That's one suave motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. He's perhaps 15 feet or so behind where you were standing, and I'll leave it to you with how you react, but he just regards you calmly. Again, just a look of vague amusement on his face.
Pretty quiet there, stranger. Even our hunting buddy didn't even notice you.
Few do. I find it easy to come and go as I please in these lands. They do belong to me, after all. I'm not sure we've been acquainted. You are, he says, looking to you, Narlug.
I'm Narlug, the smartest orc you'll ever meet.
I have no doubt that. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Most around here know me as Lord Strahd von Zarevich, the Master of Barovia. And he will offer a exaggerated, proper, formal bow. He moves with like the fluidity of the most dexterous person you've ever met, and then some. In fact, to the point where he's so smooth in his movements that he almost looks as though he's being like not entirely moved under his own power. You've never seen someone shift their weight to bow like that and then stand back up without having to And he looks
Well,
to the
Narlug,
rest of
not
you.
quite as dexterous, is just gonna do a
Mhm,
little nod.
mhm.
Not one
He
for the bowing.
chuckles.
And
Mhm.
I'll just like I don't know, do some type of druid like hand signal. I don't know, whatever they do, and I'll just be
Sure.
like, Yako Bachi, Baeldon's son or Baeldor's son, the Talon of Malar, and I'll do whatever. I'll try to copy him best I can, but I'm not very good at formal greetings.
Mhm. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance as well, Jacobachi. His eyes flit from you to where Irina has been backing away, and she fully breaks and runs north along the road.
Ervir will
And he just
bow
shakes his head.
and utter a quick "Pardon me, my lord," and chase after Irina.
Okay. Um, he will look between where Ervir and Irina are running and the other three of you. You needn't worry. She won't get far. Are you sure you wouldn't like to come in out of the rain?
I'm going to do a insight check. See if
Sure.
he's like has see if I can figure out his intentions.
Oh,
You're
not
raised
great.
up.
My rolls ain't good today.
This guy's
Yeah,
nice
no
and
kidding.
proper.
You were on fire last time, but yeah, your dice are praying you. But honestly, that is the read you get. He hasn't made any aggressive moves. Yes, he appeared rather suddenly and without initial introduction, but there's no reaching for a weapon, and you do see he carries a long sword on his hip, which looks very, very, very finely made. But honestly, the expression you get from him is just vague amusement. You don't sense any direct malicious intent.
Okay.
Hervir, we will come back to you, but I want to see what the other two are up to as well, or what Relmir makes of that as in
I'm not
addition.
worried about it.
I mean, I spend a lot of time in the rain, so it's no big deal for me.
And I just nod my head and then.
Do you have any of the old ladies'
and
meat pies?
I beg your pardon.
I can't stop knocking this thought out of my head. I need a meat pie, and there's an old lady in Barovia that sells them out of her wagon.
Ah, yes, Morgantha. I'm afraid her fare is rather beneath my palate. But if you're determined to get another fine taste of her wares, you will find the old bone grinder just a little bit further up the road.
Well,
A far
then,
less pleasant place to take shelter from the rain, though.
if there's meat pies there, though, it's fine by me.
A man of singular mind, this Narlug. Anything from my Akabachi here? Cut
Um,
to
uh,
Ervir?
No, I'm good. I'm just gonna say that I don't mind being in the rain. I
Okay.
live in the forest, and I appreciate your offer, sir. He doesn't really know what to address him as. He doesn't really understand hierarchy and whatnot, and he'll just do his best to do, another type of curtsy or bow, and it looks horrible because he's got no idea what he's doing.
For the briefest moment, there's a look of disgust that crosses his face as you don't know the proper uh, politeness. And he will, with a slight sneer, does one fang widen. The correct polite term would be my lord. And with that, in the blink of an eye, what was a person dissolves into mist and dissipates along the ground. As Ervir, you're chasing after Irina, and just a step out of the fog, solid, all of a sudden, a hand reaches up and touches the side of her face. My dear, my beloved, I can't have you running off in this weather. And he is there in front of the two of you, several hundred feet down the road. She shrieks and recoils and falls backwards into the mud, dropping her
Wait, you
sword in
said
the
he
back
touched her
in the
face.
process.
That he kept teleporting further, or he's
No,
still
he came
next to
to
her?
you several
Okay.
away from you guys have been
Okay.
running this whole
Gotcha.
conversation. Um, we good? I saw myself flicker there.
Yeah, you're a little flickery.
Okay.
Might be good. Who's
But
to
with you
say?
pointing at your incisor, I knew exactly what you meant.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, he just fully dissolves from in front of the three of you and manifests again several hundred feet away with no delay in between. But yes, he addresses her as my beloved. She panics and falls into the dirt. Her weapon, and Ervir, you catch up as this is happening. He looks down on her with pity and bends ever so slightly to offer her a hand. Uh, she continues to scrabble back away from him, and I think you would see his eyes flash briefly with kind of a dull red light. And I need to make a save for her.
Not good.
Uh,
Not good.
Mhm.
Irina immediately stops attempting to escape, leaving her sword there in the dirt. Reaches out and takes his hand, and he helps her up. And you are close enough to do something about that if you'd like.
Oh, fuck me. Let's see.
so do any of us realize like what where he
Yeah,
went?
you saw where they were running. He disappeared, and I assume you'd be glancing around. And
Okay.
they're, let's say, 200 feet away.
I'm just like, I couldn't smell him at all. You're right. It's never happened before.
Was that perhaps a spell-like ability that I would not be able to roll any sort of knowledge check for?
You can go ahead and roll Arcana or Religion. It is not a spell, though.
My int is so bad.
I believe in you.
Whoop.
You're familiar with several both divine and arcane miracles that might let one teleport, but you weren't
The
watching
eye
him.
thingy.
What?
The
Oh, the
eye
eye
thingy.
thingy. Yes. That's a 12. It's a first level spell equivalent. Um, there was no verbal or somatic component, and you certainly didn't see a material component. But given how she behaves, that sure seems like charm person to you. Oh, verbal.
Do I know how often they get to make a save for that?
I don't think with that middling of a roll you would have an answer.
I don't think Bless lets you immediately remake a save.
It does not. It gives you advantage, or not advantage, an advantage
Yeah.
on
Big
subsequent
D4.
rolls.
I don't think I have a spell that will help me, so we're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Okay.
Ah.
Little help action.
Well, I don't know when she gets to make her save, so can you help for
Let's.
that? Actually,
You can, and that would be. It depends on like the sort of save, but basically, if you're trying to help snap somebody out of a mental effect, it'd probably be
Remember
like
your loved ones and
trying
your
to shake
friends.
her or calling out to her. But yes, you can assist with saves, including death saves, just so you know for future.
I would simply spare the die.
Put your finger right there. Put your finger right there.
Yes, plug the
As a
hole.
bonus action at range. Thank you, Grave Cleric.
It is pretty sick.
That is pretty sick.
Okay, so she's no longer running away.
Right. She is seemingly under a charm effect from him. The rest of you are running. It's happening in about the 6 seconds it takes for her to get up and kind of stand there, just utterly still, looking directly into his eye. Um, he seems in no hurry at all as he takes her hand, gently lifts it up, and kisses the back of it. Um, Yeah, Ervir, you're in melee. Everybody else, I assume, double moves. Ralmir, you're a little bit faster because you can bonus action to dash as well. Can you not?
I believe I can, because I think that's part of cunning action.
Yeah, it's a cunning action. Dash,
Yes.
disengage, and
Yes,
hide.
disengage and hide.
Yeah, yes, yep.
Yep. And thieves also get use an item as part of that, which is really good.
Fuck yeah, and help too. Fuck yeah.
And help. Yes. That's well, Mastermind gets help
That
from
was
that.
crazy.
At range, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah, that's
Shoot him over there. Shoot that guy.
That's level 3 when I get the range.
Yeah.
so-
But point being, you can close to within, about 110 feet. Ayakubachi, you are in range, bow, if you choose to do anything. But again, yeah, he will spend his round helping her up. And Ervir, are you intervening?
My image of the seed is that he is simply helping her to her feet, in which case I will not intervene. If
Okay.
it starts to go further, I want to ready to intervene.
Okay, and what would you like to ready?
A grapple on Irina?
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think, as I said, he kisses her hand. I don't know if we have an artwork. I don't want to keep going too much without Dave, but
I think
assume
he can
he's
hear us.
listening.
Dave, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
He's just feeding the dog or some shit.
Yeah, that's no problem. I just want to make sure he could at least hear how the scene was playing out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was just running around along with Ikabachi, getting
No,
up
you're
there.
good. Yeah, I think he would take the time to brush her hair behind her ear very tenderly. And he would turn to her and say, "Now, darling, ought we head inside, get out of this miserable weather, have some time to catch up?" And she looks up at him. She's probably a foot shorter than he is. And she doesn't say anything. She just nods and kind of blankly turns back, looking the other way up the road, the direction she ran away from initially, towards the castle. And you can see Ervir, she does not even seem to register your existence.
So we've got several hundred feet to walk back to the carriage.
Mhm.
All right. I won't grapple. I will instead bow my head and give a pardon the intrusion, my lord. But may I ask your intentions? We had made a promise to both Irina and Ismark that we would see her safely to Valaki.
And though she continues to completely ignore your presence, he'll look down at you and kind of smile. My intentions? Why, to make sure that my beloved and soon-to-be betrothed does not catch cold. She's such a frail thing. And he will just kind of brush one of his hands against the side of her face. But, well, you say it was at Irina's request. Is that still what you want, darling? And she will look to you for the first time in a moment, or Vera registering that you're there. And empty as can be. No, it's not what I want. Well, I think that settles that, doesn't it?
At this
And
point,
you are all within engagement range, 60 feet out
okay.
by now. Maybe even less.
Oh, Lord Strahd, you're so fast.
Sorry.
Okay. Because I guess I would just like kind of like make out like the vagueness of her like walking with him then,
Yeah, I think
or
you're
the
close
whole
enough to
situation.
see. You can close enough to get
Okay.
what's going on. And to all of you, again, I don't think it's enough of a shift. You've spent a day with her now. She is not behaving like herself.
We were
Very
also
almost looks like a
warned.
puppet on strings. Not normal move.
Okay.
Her and
Yeah,
Ismark warned
a
us that
second ago
vampires
she
can
looked
charm
like
too.
prey,
Yes, they
and
did.
now she doesn't. It's weird.
Yes. She was in a full-on panic and now seems totally
Okay.
calm. Eerily calm, in fact.
Okay.
Would I happen to have powdered silver in my little bag? And I started lit.
Is it a component for any of the spells you know?
Yes.
Then yes.
Now, the next question is, would she be a willing subject? So I'm wondering if I could give her protection from evil and good.
Interesting. Due to the way that Charm Person works, I think she still counts you as an ally.
Okay. Well, I would like to cast that and just briefly touch her real quick.
All right, go ahead and link it.
6 spell.
Let's see.
Which one you gonna pick
Measure
though?
attack rolls. Can be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. Interesting.
If they already are, though, then she gets advantage on her
Yes,
next.
she does. Interesting. Hang on, I heard a phone call.
That's a 6 spell.
Sorry, it's my food.
No, you're good. I just wanted to make sure you weren't gonna miss out. Yeah, so you step up and you go to cast that. Oh, I'm debating.
That's such a strange spell. I've never seen a spell that says consume and not have money involved.
Yeah, I think the way that that works is basically just you have to have either, because it doesn't say a cost, you're right, and it does not
But
have an
holy water
associated
costs
cost.
money and silver costs
It
money. It just doesn't say
does,
how
but
much.
powdered silver and iron, but because it doesn't state a cost, I think you can actually use a focus to cast that.
Yeah. That's a weird
So
Nice.
you don't even, do you have an arcane focus?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I started with one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is it? Because that is relevant.
Um,
Because it has to be an item, sort of like a holy symbol that, in theory, you could be disarmed from. Or
it literally just says
is
arcane focus.
yes, but you choose. It can be a
Oh,
staff.
I
It
get
can
to
be a
choose?
ring. Yeah.
I would have it just be like a ring on my finger.
Okay. And I saw you go, Ayakobachi. Reason being, he still needs that hand to cast spells
Same.
with. So, but a ring is
That's
fine.
sick though. I like it.
Okay. I think he's going to choose not to counterspell that. But you can see he recognizes what you're
Okay.
and just kind of watches with amusement. You reach out and you touch her. Protection from evil and good goes off. At the end of her turn, she has been making saves. We'll give her advantage on this one.
The save's fucking 30.
No, it's not that high.
Interesting.
And
Sorry, bro was blind.
you're fine. I am back in GM rolls. Sorry, that's how I meant to roll the other one. But I think letting you see that too was nice and cinematic.
Bryce failed it miserably.
But yes, you can see she blinks and kind of looks to you, Narlug, and to you, Ervir, and it seems she's back. And as she looks to her left, where he's still got her hand clasped in his, I think she starts to panic again, but her first reaction is going to attack him. She does not have a weapon. She
Making
rolls.
unarmed strikes.
Yes, she rolls an unarmed strike. She gets a 11. And as she goes to hit him, she like connects, but it's completely ineffectual. She kind of like backhand slaps him. He doesn't even flinch. He just sighs and looks down at her, and you can see he wrenches her by the arm and goes to pull her. Ervir like takes an actually aggressive move against her as he pulls her in and will go to wrap her up with the other hand. I don't know if you're planning to intervene, any of
Don't
you,
like
but
that.
reactions.
Yeah, I got so I'm just going to just say, my lord, I'm sorry that she was just a little bit frightened though, but if you wouldn't mind though, just letting her go, and then I'm gonna roll persuasion.
Okay.
Fuck.
Oh my god, your dice today, my guy. Um uh Anybody else trying anything, by the way? Because in response, Romir, he'll just laugh, look right
Yeah.
at you, and say, I don't think I will.
Okay, yeah.
Don't really have anything at reaction speed.
No, not doesn't have to be a reaction. I'm giving you a
Oh,
turn.
no.
He's
Okay.
moving slowly. In
Would a
fact, you could
grapple be
probably.
contested by him?
Yes, it would, if you go to grapple her as well.
Yeah. Shit.
I'll attempt to cast sleep on him.
Okay. Give me an intelligence check before.
I was gonna say.
Oh, that's right. Hey, man, it's Narlock. He ain't never seen a vampire before, right?
That's fair. I'll give you a chance. It's on. So an actual inch check is going to be the same as your save, I assume. You know, not only first of all, he's an elves are immune to magical sleep.
Oh, he's
He's
got the double
undead,
whammy.
also immune to magical sleep. You know, as you think to do that, it's probably not going to do anything to him.
Yeah, other than that, I just got straight up attacking this dude, so I don't know if any of you guys want to do something.
Well, it sounds like, kind of speaking out of character, that we're in the idea of like we're not gonna outrun this guy. Obviously, he's fast to fucking win. But if we wanted to like get her out of his grip, is that like the idea? We want to like grapple her and get the fuck out of here. Is that like the overall? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't think we're ready to straight
And
up box
go
this
ahead.
dude, though.
Yeah,
I
we're not
will. I
winning
will
a fight.
just
We're
say
not getting
you're
away
not.
unless he
Yes.
lets us get away.
Yeah.
You get the feeling from this that he absolutely, given what you've heard, could have just shown up and murdered all of you. He chose not to do that. He seems to be toying with you more than anything, and if that helps determine your plans of action here.
Yeah, I'm trying not to bust out the radiant damage.
Well, I'm just gonna. Here's my idea as far as
Mhm.
grappling. I can give us all advantage on all strength checks. So if we do that, even her, she'll be an ally as well. We'd all have advantage on trying to grapple and break out of grapples. So that
You
is
know
a thing.
what? And then I can bless on top of that.
Or
is
guidance
true.
for the checks, or bless for the save.
Nyla-
Bless
Darling's
is
got
gonna
12
be what you
strength.
need here.
I don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
guidance works for.
No, guidance
I
is
did-
an ability check.
I was thinking checks if we're gonna do like grapples, but
Well, it would help with the
Grapple
athletics,
is a-
but you still have to hit with the melee attack in order to start the pull. You don't
Oh, is
do
that how
damage,
that
but that's how it
shall
works. So it's melee attack, which is a specialized melee attack. It does no
I should
damage,
read
but
the
you still have
rules.
to hit the AC, and then you
Oh.
make a contested athletics check. So I guess technically it depends on which part you want to get the bonus on.
okay, cause how it reads when I read it is like this.
So the bear spirit applies to both, but guidance
does.
versus bless
Bless is one. or
are
the
for
other.
different components of that. Yep, use the attack action to make a special melee.
A grapple. If you're able to,
all
yeah.
those.
The target you are grapple must be no more than one size of you. You must have
Correct.
a free hand. You try to seize the target by making a grapple check. My athletics versus their strength and acrobatics.
Or an opposing dexterity. Fuck.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
see
Just
anything
says
about
grab is the
rolling an
most
attack.
dexterous
It
thing
just says you get
alive.
a special melee attack called a grapple.
I've always thought of it as you have to make the melee. Hang on.
Are we assisting Irina break a grapple?
That's the thing. Those checks would help.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
Let's see. Oh no.
Well, yeah, originally
Fair
I
enough.
phrased
It
it
is
as, I
just
want to
strength
grapple
athletics.
Irina. But realistically, what it probably is we're trying to help Irina break a grapple.
Exactly.
That is also a thing,
You
yeah.
guidance her.
I mean, I could just help, give her
Oh.
advantage.
That too.
Wow, I've been running that wrong for 10 years.
I bet you it's 100% the thing in like 3.5 or something, or like
It
Pathfinder.
is.
You know what I'm saying?
100% in
I
both of
guarantee
those.
it's
You
just
have to hit
overlap.
first.
It's just overlap is all.
Huh. Yeah, we've been playing 5e here and there. So I've run this before and I've run this wrong. But yeah, what would you like to do?
If we're gonna go with that, I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm just gonna summon that bear, and I
Okay.
think that's what is gonna be cool. And I'm gonna pick the squad. It says of my choice, so the team. Bravia boys plus our girl. So.
Plus Arena. Okay.
And everyone gains 7 temporary hit points.
Nice.
Yay!
That's a lot at low level. Holy
That
shit.
is actually a lot.
That's literally half my health I just gained.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ayakobachi summons his bear spirit,
Can't
which
do a bear
bolsters
roar.
all of you.
I want to help Irina.
Okay, and you want to help her break the grapple?
Yes.
Any action for you, Rolmir? Just checking before I'm gonna make her roll.
So it can't have like multiple people do like the help action, right? Or
It'll just give advantage, yeah.
yeah.
What if he
So
helps
it
me
doesn't
helping her?
stack. Then your help has advantage, which requires no roll.
We're like a human chain. It's tug of war.
No peasant rail gunning Irina.
No. It's the opposite of a railgun. We want to go backwards.
So you're
Alrighty.
a rail gun pointing away.
So with like the grip that he's doing though, is there like anything like to it though, or is he like just like physically holding her though, or is this something I could do
He hasn't like sunk claws in or
yeah, okay. So this isn't something I could like do like a religion check on though to see if he's like doing anything else or
go ahead. Why not?
Yeah, it was unclear if it was like pulling her up by the collar of her shirt or if it was a bite.
Frank,
I'm going to need
Roll,
you to
just
throw
roll.
your imaginary D20 out the window. And
Now, Strahd, is he making a saving throw?
is Strahd making a save?
Yeah, when he's contesting the grapple.
No, it's going
That's
to
not a save?
be
Okay.
strength athletics. I think.
So like he'll use athletics, and then Arena gets to use athletics or acrobatics.
Or
so she can have
acrobatics,
advantage
whichever
on
she's
either
better
one
at.
with that help action, which is actually kind of
Correct.
Well, I would say that I could give disadvantage to saving throws, but that's
Yeah,
not a saving
unfortunately
throw.
not a save. So you've sort of applied the buffs that you're going to be able to here. And she is going to attempt to break his grapple. Let's get her sheet open. Sorry, I should have had that closed it by accident.
Got that
All right.
woman's strength.
So she is going to, with advantage. Oh, let's go. Sometimes the dice just want things to happen. And he is also going to, actually, matter. Going to contest that without advantage.
He's him.
So, he goes to pull her in. Ervir, you're giving her the help action. Ayakobachi, you're bolstering her with, the bear spirit, so she has the advantage on the check. Ervir, you kind of are able to interpose a hand and force her away from him. She makes it out. He loses his grip on her, and in doing so, there's a flash of anger across his face. He's been very composed, very lazy about this whole thing, but he turns to you, Ervir, and he bares his fangs. And as he does so, this calm and, dare I say, almost beautiful countenance of a perfect figure is washed away with, creased lines in the head, his mouth too wide, his eyes glow red, and the fangs are like fully revealed. And he is just gonna make an unarmed attack against you. 25 to hit.
Barely.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Big hits.
So you go to pull her away, and she escapes, and he just turns to you and like open palm strikes you in the middle of the chest. Take 24 bludgeoning damage.
I'm down.
With your
Um,
7 temp?
Yep. I have exactly 24 with the temp.
Mm.
Sometimes the dice just say it. And
I'll
you
make my
are.
death save now.
You don't have to necessarily.
I didn't know if I make it now or on my next turn.
On your next turn. But as he just literally shoves her back, Strahd shakes his head. Very well, he says, back up.
You're
Same.
breaking up, bro. While you're monologuing,
How's
you're
this?
wanting to get fucked by it.
Check, 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 check.
There you go.
I'm good now.
As he looks up at the rest of you with that calm countenance back on his face. Very well. I suppose that's how we'll play it. Enjoy the rain. And he's gone.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go up to Ear and I'm going to. I could do. So I would just do like a help action, or couldn't I do like medicine to help with?
Medicine
I was gonna say,
DC
yeah, Cap,
15.
medicine will just 15 to just stabilize though, right?
I believe, yes.
I mean, I'm not proficient.
Ayakobachi, I assume, has Cure Light Wounds or Good Berry or something.
I do.
I do damages,
For
not
this,
heals.
for this exact reason.
Yes.
Case our cleric dies.
You gotta have the backup for the
Okay.
backup.
I'm just since I brought it up though, I'm just gonna do a medicine check just to do it.
Do it. It's the role we need.
And that one, he
There you
kills him.
go. Rolmir immediately, still head in the game, unfazed by all of this that's going on around. You rush over, stabilize Arvir before he even starts making death saves.
We stabilize 0 HP unconscious, right?
Stabilize
That's how it
0
works.
HP unconscious, yes. Which means that you'll either need a short rest or heal to come back to positive so that you can actually take actions, but you are not in danger of dying. Irina is, again, kind of just shaking and seems in shock more than anything. Not going to be a lot of help at the moment. But yes, you are left with no sign of him. A couple 100 feet from this carriage, which while it was perfectly silent before, the door swings shut with a snap, and it heads off down the road towards the castle without you.
Yeah, don't worry, I got this. I'm gonna take out my bow and I'm gonna light it up and I'm gonna point it right at Irvir's face. And I'm gonna let it go, and as it springs, it glows green and hits him right in the face. And as it does, it explodes into a bunch of little, greeny little, I don't know, something druidy, and it's gonna heal him as a healing word.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Fair
All
enough.
that to go
You
with
know what healing
something
word is.
druidy.
Yeah, I couldn't think of it. You know what? The green specks. It's gonna turn to green
Yeah.
specks. They do this.
Green motes of light.
There you go.
They do this.
And you get 5 healing.
I have 5 HP. Eyes will open up, shoot straight open, and yeah,
You
take
just
it
see
and
me
do the
aiming at you right. I'm aiming right at you.
Yeah. It's a solid equivalent gut there. Probably have to catch your breath a bit.
packs a punch.
Yeah.
When I first met this Strahd guy, he didn't really seem all that bad, but I don't think he's that nice of a person.
That was kind of mean.
Alright.
Are you okay, Irvir?
Got a short
Yeah.
wick.
Just gonna lay here another moment. How's Arena?
She like blinks a couple times. Then you see her like check to make sure she's mostly in one piece, and she looks over at you and better than I would have been if you all hadn't been here. That's for sure.
Give her the thumbs up.
And she is like very quickly is like wiping that hand that he had grabbed on her cloak and puts both arms under her actual, rain cloak and just kind of hugs herself.
You know, I think this rain is kind of nice. We should just take a second. And I'm gonna wild shape into a frog.
Soak up some of this rain.
Yeah.
So since I already have like it's like my common clothes that I have though, is that like what I'm wearing like underneath like my leather armor then, or
Yeah.
is that like something else that I have though? So I can't like
You might
finish-
not be like wearing the outer jacket that would go with that, but like your
Okay.
basic shirt and
Like,
pants
I'll
are
like put that like over her though to like cover her up from the rain though, just because she just
okay. Yeah, even more than
went
the
through all
cloak.
that stuff.
Yeah.
I can't be a frog, but I'm gonna be a small reptile animal.
Because it's too small to be a frog fight. You could be a
No.
large-ish frog
No, it's because
if
it
you want to be a
swims
You
and I
could
frog.
be like
can't
a
swim. So
bullfrog.
I'm gonna be like a
Oh, yeah.
forest-dwelling frog that can't swim.
There you go. I was gonna say yes. Be a frog with no swim speed.
I'm a toad.
fine
A
with
toad.
that. And yeah,
We have a word
Irvir,
for those.
as you go to like put your extra jacket kind of around her shoulders, she actually I think will um I think she would just pull you into a hug. She just needs it as you go to do that. And like I said, she's shaking and clearly unnerved, but after just a moment, like, and she squeezes probably too tight. She's still strong despite the low con. But yeah, there's just a moment, and she kind of, sorry, and she steps back, kind of puts her hands on your shoulders, kind of awkwardly pats you once or twice, and I needed that. Um, it's probably best if we keep moving. Uh, I don't think distance will necessarily play too much of a part in preventing him from doing that again, but it will make me feel better. And kind of sets her jaw, takes a couple steps forward, picks up her sword, wipes off the blade, puts it back in the sheath. Uh, yeah, or you're gonna get up and dust yourself off and patch up some of those holes, or you're gonna leave it at that. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna patch that up a little bit.
All right. Brings you up to 10.
Yeah.
All right, my man's got hit with the one-hitter quitter.
Uh-huh. He did give you the wombo.
24 damage is a lot.
Mm-hmm. He's unsurprisingly challenge rating something in you are level 2.
Something in the what?
Teens.
Hmm.
A force palm, like, yeah, in the chest, just like your heart stopped. It's like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
Well, I didn't hear no bell.
Got a short will hick and orc.
Is this not Barovia? Isn't this Barovia? Thought this was Barovia.
I'm sorry, I thought this was Barovia.
But yes, you all continue down the path, I assume.
Dude, he would be Bat Dad too.
Bad,
This is
bad.
writing itself. This is just writing
You're
itself.
not
I love
wrong.
Bad dad. I won't call him that, but we'll call him that between ourselves to
it.
disrespect.
Yeah.
I assume we will continue on our way after. I was gonna say licking our wounds, just mine.
Yeah, just yours. You kind of took the brunt of that.
Appreciate you, Ribbit.
I think I would have just been straight dead if I took that shit.
I was like, it better be than everyone else.
Yeah, because yeah, 'cause
Has
I
to deal your
Double.
full max
Four.
hit points
So
in
anyone
one
with
blow
12
from
would have got
0.
wrecked.
Yes,
Their
anybody
heart
with
really
12
would've
max
stopped.
could have died.
I'm at 14. Woo!
Yeah.
Small victories.
Right? Can you imagine go to slap Narlug, not paying too much attention to HP totals, and I just kill you? Oops.
This guy doesn't fuck around.
Uh, yeah. So you don't make it far, before you can see on the road set of
Something is on the
stone
road, and you broke
and
up.
iron. Oh, sorry. On the road there, not too far down the path, is another large stone and iron set of gates. They look very similar to the ones that you crossed on your way into the valley initially, far to the east. But here, the statues have not lost their heads, or at least one of them hasn't. The statue that stands, hands on the hilt of a long sword planted into the ground, is very clearly, now that you've seen him in person, Strahd von Zarovich. Um, he is depicted in plate armor, sort of a head held high, victorious pose, a slight smile on his face. Though this depiction is less gaunt and less slender than the man you just saw. The other statue, is depicted similarly. Plate mail, large sword, slightly broader build, but the head has not only been broken off, but seems to be lying much too far away in the undergrowth to have fallen and is broken in half. The face bears a strong resemblance to him, maybe a brother or an uncle. But yes, it looks as though it has been sundered and flung into the underbrush. As you approach the gates, without any prompting from you, they swing open.
I'm gonna listen really closely to see if I can hear anybody on the other side. Maybe not
Okay.
get too close, but close enough to see if I can hear any movement or
Is
hear
that
any
an
breathing.
active perception check, I hear?
I like rolling. I'm gonna roll it and risk the biscuit. Malar, praise be. Nope.
That natty one.
Malar says, sounds like no one's here to you.
Sounds like rain.
Sounds like rain. I should note, these again are 40-foot high iron and stone gates. This is not somebody pushing them open from the other side. And they swing out in the direction that you're traveling.
I've heard something about blah 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 the land.
I will gladly go first since I obviously am not afraid of anything that's not there because there's nothing there. So
I respect that optimism. Um, as you go first, Gates, um, you are met on the other side by a figure astride a warhorse, except for, well, it's more what was left of a warhorse. A skeletal beast, standing almost 8 feet high at the shoulder, and a figure clad in plate mail on its back. But you can see the hand that holds a unlit, perhaps? No, there's a guttering blue flame in it. Lantern uh, is a skeletal hand, and the armor has rotted away. And you see a skeletal knight horseback that looks down at you and looks back at the road, just walks right by
Ribbit.
you.
All right, yourself, frog.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the rest of you, it approaches. Arena steps back out of the way, and it just heads along the road.
Well, no harm, no foul.
Nobody taking any aggressive actions?
Just a regular old skeleton to me. That seems kind of normal.
Pretty standard
Fair
skeleton
enough.
doing spooky stuff.
I suppose as it's like walking past, so I kind of like just take like a quick glance at it though. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then just do I'm gonna do a religion check on it.
Okay, yeah.
This is the one.
That is the one. Okay. You do a religion check. This thing still carries itself with perfect knightly posture, like ramrod straight in the saddle. Horse moves as though it were alive. You notice it's still got its hand on the hilt of its sword, again, proper riding in the saddle, keeping that secure, and the lantern held out in front of it. The way this thing moves, it doesn't strike you like some sort of mindless skeleton, some sort of typical undead. While it doesn't pay any of you any mind, your religion check probably buys you, especially given faith to the Raven Queen. This strikes you more as a revenant than anything. A creature that has come back from death, not under the control of a necromancer, control of any, inherent evil master. A spirit with unfinished business of some sort. But you can see what passes for eyes with this thing, which are two pale blue glints deep within the empty eye sockets skull. While they briefly register all of your presence, they rapidly return sort of to kind of an empty gaze surveying the road ahead of it. It seems not disinterested, but more unfocused, if that makes any sense. And if nobody moves to stop it, it will continue along the road south in the direction that you all came from.
Yeah, I kind of just wanted to see what it was, though not really trying to engage with it or anything like that.
Disinterested as
Yeah,
I am,
Yagabatsu would.
as much as I hate its presence, I'm not in much shape to do anything about it.
No, you
Yeah.
are not.
Yagabatsu would just look at the horse. Really, he doesn't really give a shit about the skeleton. It's an undead horse.
It must have been a magnificent beast when it was alive. This is one of the largest horses you've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
This is like a
It's a
very,
stallion.
very well-bred horse.
War
who,
horse.
like,
Like
yes,
the giant steed.
yes. Like I said, it's 8 feet high at the shoulder, which means the head is probably well over that, like more like 12 feet high. This is a big fucking horse, a Clydesdale and then some.
Oh yeah.
And the rider is quite large as well. Not like large size category, but like a 5'5", big motherfucker. And yeah, it slowly plods along the path in the rain until you lose sight of it around a bend. Irina would just kind of watch it go, and as it's out of sight, right. I say we head outside the gates before they change their mind. I've had more than enough for today already. I think it's best we make for Valaki sooner rather than later. Uh, and she's keeping it together, but still rattled, clearly, and will just, like, chin up, not thinking about that. You can see her kind of make that choice and walk ahead to the gates, catching up to Ayakobachi.
Ribbit.
Is that a bit of a rarer sight then? I assume that would have been something everyone was used to by now, based on its nonchalantness.
During the day, rare, yes. Things like that more common after darkness falls. There are many restless souls in these lands, I'm afraid. I can't say I've ever met that one, though.
And then I'll just ask, like, are they like normally like warriors like that on horses though, or are they just like also like regular civilians too that would be restless?
I've seen a mix of, and as you're kind of having this conversation, maybe, 100 feet past the gates, they creak slowly shut, and with an echoing boom that bounces off the mountain and through the woods, they seal themselves behind you. Oh, I'm sorry. The spirits that I've come across are rarely as tangible as that one looked. There are plenty of ghosts in these lands, though there are simpler undead as well. Zombies, uh, unliving skeletons. But there are a few, such as that one, that seem to have a sense of purpose to them, that don't wander quite as aimlessly. We may have a zombie or two attack the outer farmlands in Barovia village from time to time, but these, revenants, as I've heard them referred to, they're more common in the western forests, but we have had a visitor or two to Barovia village of their ilk. Several of them are capable of speech and seem fine enough folk, whether or not their appearances can be unsettling. Uh, but yes, I'm afraid many believe it's something wrong with the soil of the land. It's part of why we buried our father in a crypt and exposed the site of the burial to sunlight for the day. It helps to discourage them from returning. Which seems to imply that people who just get like buried in the ground have a reasonably high chance of coming back as something bad.
So we're all in agreement. Cremation if one of us goes.
Agreed.
Or would something happen in the air though, because of all the mist though, if like all the smoke from the
Oh
ashes
yeah,
happens from the body though, could cause
undead
some
dust
bad
devil.
things.
um, all told, I think we can count ourselves lucky that that was the extent of that encounter, though. And it was lucky. Or a random encounter roll that's non-combat. You could have gotten dumpstered on.
Boom.
Could have been a dragon.
Right? Or could it? Um, but yes, you progress along the road, and I'm looking for a area description. At any point, are you taking a rest? You do probably have time if you want to take a short rest and spend some hit dice, or kind of push on.
Are
I
those
would
like
enjoy
hour-
it in the
Yes, a short
rain.
Oh
rest
yeah,
is 1
because you
hour.
probably want to get your wild shape.
Yeah, like
back,
everything, all my fucking shit short rest, even my subclass shit. Not the metagame, but I'm also a frog and I want to sit in the rain.
I mean, you could definitely metagame to be like, I'm out of shit in case something jumps us. Like, get me off my feet for an
I
hour.
kind of pop
Be
my
real
load
great.
on trying to save our girl, so.
I usually frame it as a druid, you know.
But you could definitely use
could-
some hit dice, I'm sure. I mean, you got 2 of them.
Yes.
Yeah, probably use both too.
So after doing the short rest, is our temp HP gone then?
It's gone after 60 seconds.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's only 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
so 10
outstanding, I'm good.
rounds.
I assume we can find like a large tree, maybe under some cover of brush or something, or try and take a short rest out of the rain,
Mhm.
somewhat.
Yeah, and if you make it like a little further up into the, you notice as you castle, rain does start to thin a little.
Mm.
Kind of goes back to being that unpleasant but less directly soaking drizzle. Um, so probably finding like, you know, a tree that overhangs the path, or even a small spot slightly off the road, you can get out of most of it. But yeah, I guess the question is, if you're going to take a short rest, would you like to make a fire or anything? Or are you just going to find a spot out of the rain and keep as quiet and out of the way as you can?
No fire, absolutely not.
Okay.
You said we have time though, so if we take this out, we're not going to show up like after dark.
No, yeah, you were planning to arrive kind of Valak. So you burning an hour will not push you to sunset. No.
Okay.
I'm using my arcane recovery to get that 1 spell slot back.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, wizards can do that.
Yeah, they get a limited amount on a short rest
Yeah.
once per day, I think. Or is that
I
every
can
time
still
you
hear
short
too,
rest?
so don't worry about me.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
think
there's
I'd
like a
to do
pool
something
they
like
get that they can use, and then as they level up, it gets a bigger pool. And it's
Yeah,
as long
I
as
think
they
that's
have
what it
that,
is.
as long as they have those resources, they can do it.
Yeah, it's half my level, so like right now, since I'm level 2, I can only recover 1 level 1
Mhm.
slot.
That's pretty cool.
Oh,
Can you do like higher levels when you're?
The max I think
Yeah,
is
so, like-
5,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, it's sick. And you can split it up too. So if you want to go like 1 level 2, 3 level 1s, you know, however you want to
Mhm.
do it, it's pretty sick. Or 1 level 5 if you're level 10.
Kind of prevents being totally gassed as a caster, which is very.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in a
Yeah.
frog form for the hour, and then eventually towards the end of that hour, I'll naturally just become me again.
Sure, it wears off. Yeah.
I'm going to so hit dice. Do you add your con to those or no?
You do. Yes, you
If
roll
you-
and add your con.
If you click the word hit dice on your character sheet, it'll roll it with the con.
That's what I thought it might do that. I was just curious. I didn't know if I needed to spend 2 hit dice or not. Be on the safe side, but
When
I
you
feel
roll
like I
Um,
might as well.
max
anyway.
roll right here.
You do recover half of your hit dice on a long rest, I believe.
Min roll. That was
Still,
good.
that's 11.
Oh, did that roll twice? All right.
Yes,
That's
but-
fine.
Did you only want to spend the one?
Yeah, because you said the half,
Yeah,
but it
So-
don't matter.
that's fine. Go ahead and take the 8 then. I'm not going to punish you for roll 20 being leggy.
Yeah, it gets.
It's pretty bad.
When I did the religion check though, I was
Hmm.
sitting on or the medicine check though, I was sitting on it for like 20 seconds before it rolled.
Mhm.
And then I will also harness. What is it called?
Harness divine power.
I'm gonna get my spell slot back
Fuck yeah, you are.
because it works like Dave's thing, which he
Yep.
did, and that reminded me that I have that too.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Harness
Beautiful
divine
thing.
power. Yep, on a short rest, I get my channel divinity charges back, so you can see what channel divinity to get a spell slot back.
There you go.
Wish Drew's got that.
Right? That's how I feel about it. But like,
He just got a bunch of shit
Jack,
back
you
on a
just-
short
yes,
rest.
you don't get your spells; you get your class features back.
Yeah.
If only we got the free guiding bolts back, that would be nice. But no.
Yeah!
Wait,
Freaking
that's not a
Star
thing?
Druids! Fucking up all my
No.
campaign! Fucking up all
Yeah.
my dungeons with the goddamn guiding bolts all the time! Guiding bolt!
Oh,
Guiding
just-
bolt! Guiding bolt!
Oh, it's because I'm a
Archer! Guiding bolt!
Yeah.
Archer! Guiding bolt!
Yeah, the druid that I'm currently playing in our Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign is all Circle of Stars.
Okay.
Ain't never dragoned once in his damn life.
Yeah. Okay, but also I went like what, a year without
Yeah, we
being
did
able
fuck
to-
that up. I didn't realize you could use it on the turn you activated it. But it's also
Oh,
low level,
really?
and you guys were blowing them away
Yeah.
anyway.
That's true. I went
Yeah,
a solid
both.
year of playing that campaign with waiting a turn to use my archers.
It was like 20, it was
Yeah.
like 15, 18 sessions, you know.
Both Archer and Chalice activate as part of
Mhm.
using the Wild Shape.
I've used Chalice a few times.
You have
It's
used
just-
it one time. You saved Dave's life. But I'm ready to go.
I've
Dave
discovered
can hear us.
something. Yeah, discovered something really fun recently as an ally that went down in a darkness effect. So I couldn't see them to heal them from range. Chalice does not state a target you can see.
Yeah, just somebody else.
Hmm
Oh,
Just had to be within range.
okay, because I play Lockdown and I don't get dark vision, so
Yep. I guess elephants can't see in the dark, huh?
They can do
Oh,
everything
well.
fucking else though. They got trunks.
But yes.
Yeah, let's move,
During the rest, I think Irina mostly is quiet, but you see she kind of like starts to calm down properly. And, at some point takes a little nip from like a hip flask. Puts that back away and seems to kind of regain her composure by the time you guys are done resting. And you break up some of the bread that Vistani had given you, take some of the jerky they'd given you, decent meal. And by now it's about maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You've done a lot of walking for the day, and while the rain doesn't dissipate, it kind of stays at that steady, slow drizzle. And sooner or later, rested and recovered, you all realize that, that's probably enough of a break and head back down the road. You've sort of reached the peak of the mountains here, and it becomes a much narrower and more precarious path for a short while. But as you kind of round these couple hairpin turns here, Dave, you still with us?
Yes.
Okay. So the old Svalich Road transitions here from a winding path through the Balanock Mountains to a lazy trail as the mountainside as it descends into a fog-filled valley. In the heart of the valley ahead of you, the town, you see a walled town near the shores of a great mountain lake, its waters dark and still. A branch in the road leads west to a promontory atop which is perched a dilapidated stone windmill, its warped wooden vanes stripped bare.
Hey Narlag, I think the pie lady's up there maybe.
Pies?
I mean
I could use a pie.
Bat Dad did say that it was up the road.
dude, don't encourage them.
Bad Dad.
Would you really be eating those?
I mean, I thought they were delicious.
I've been hungover all day because of it.
Nothing good comes from them pies.
Isn't it their fault you're feeling like this?
Irina would speak up. I've heard some unpleasant rumors about what they use to make them. And as I said, Ismark and I made the mistake once of trying them. And have chosen to abstain. I won't
I'm with
tell
you
you
guys.
you
I'm
can't.
done with those pies. No more.
But yeah,
What are the
it's-
rumors?
She'd sigh.
We need to know if this thing will pass on its own or what's going on with Narlock.
Well, I can tell you for certain, if that's what you're worried about, that there are several in the village that are so enamored with them, perhaps even you could say addicted, that they have paid her steadily increasing prices to the point where they can no longer settle their debts, and they've sent their children to work for Morgantha in payment for a continued supply.
Child slave labor.
That doesn't sound so bad.
Ergir looks
Orcs.
extremely pissed.
I see my comrades in slave whole towns. And for less than a pie, too.
She kind of like gives you a solidly raised eyebrow eye and half step away.
Malar would see these children grow and mate to make more prey. They shouldn't be locked up.
What does
Well,
that even mean?
Well, if the kids don't grow up, they can't reproduce, and then they won't have more kids to make more things.
No, you
Oh.
said prey.
Well, yeah,
Let's not dance around that.
Well, obviously, if they were hunters, they wouldn't be locked up. Obviously.
They're children.
Yeah, that's why they shouldn't be locked up. We have to grow up and find out which one they are, and then have more children.
It sounds like you want to hurt these people
Well, we're gonna.
for no reason.
Malar decides who the hunters and the prey are. Okay, I don't. I just stay on my side of it, the hunter side.
I'm pretty sure you pull your bowstring.
I do. On prey. It's not wise to fight a hunter stronger than yourself. It ends poorly.
Innocent people?
Well, is a deer innocent of a lion's clutch? Is an antelope innocent of a
Are you
panther's
eating these
attack?
people?
Yeah.
Don't shrug when I ask that question.
I wouldn't necessarily eat them, but I do bathe in their blood and their organs. Yes. As Malar wishes.
So we're in agreement to go free the children and
Right,
get
You
pies.
hunt people for sport?
I hunt prey for sport. Yes.
He's gonna look to Irina.
She's not entirely sure what to make
Do I need
this
to make a new character?
um,
You are
Yeah.
all fine hunters.
um, I legitimately don't know what she would have to say to that. I think more than anything, like, again, kind of another step slightly, but also you're in the middle of the woods and, well, you're on the edge of the woods, I guess. She knows that running off alone is a mistake. But honestly, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that moral judgment, but it's not for me to choose what traditions the outsiders follow. It is
Normal folk don't do that outside of Barovia.
troubling.
I appreciate you respecting my religious beliefs. But all in all, if we do save the prey / hunters, we will need to make it back before nightfall. I don't know if we can do both.
It's again only a few hundred feet off but you can see her kind of glancing between it and the town that you can see down in the valley.
Yeah, and then I guess we'll go and ask another question about the pies though.
Mhm.
Is like if she knows anything about like what's actually in them.
Morgantha's unsurprisingly rather cagey about her recipe. We've never been able to prove anything, but given the addictive properties, I suspect it must be some sort of drug. Especially given the other effects, the euphoria they can cause, and the withdrawal afterwards.
I mean, I did feel good during it though, but I just couldn't.
I'm saying. Get some feel good pies and free some kids. Sounds like a good day's work.
But the after effects was too much for me. I couldn't do it another time. I knew it
And
was gonna fly too.
Mhm. She just shakes her head and shrugs. I'm sorry, I can't tell you anything. Ismark and I pressed her once on the issue, and something about a little bit of magic passed down from her mother. But I don't trust that woman very much.
I vote free of the prey / future hunters. You're right. It was wrong of me to discriminate. They could be hunters.
Think you're fundamentally misunderstanding what the issue is here. But you are right. The children should be free. At least that we can agree on.
Yes, we need to save the children.
Right?
And maybe a pie on the way out.
I'm saying,
Um, fair enough. Let's see. So you're going to head along that little path that kind of follows up slightly.
Mm-hmm.
As you approach the windmill, you can see that this onion-domed edifice leans forward into one side, like a sort of ancient and bent old woman leaning away from the storm gray sky. You see gray brick walls covered windows on the upper floor. A low and sort of well-worn and leaning as well wooden platform encircles the windmill above a flimsy doorway leading to the building's interior. Uh, as you draw closer, you can see that perched on a wooden beam above the door is a raven. It watches you with one eye and then the other, and as you grow close, it hops about like side to side and kind of ruffles its feathers and kind of calls out to you a couple times. Go ahead and make me insight checks.
I would definitely like to talk to this raven. More like threaten it. Let's do the inside check first.
Roll me, please.
I know. I've had like 2 good rolls.
You're still paying back that triple crit.
I am. I knew I was gonna pay for that.
Ervir and Narlug, that not only is this thing like clearly focused on you more than you might expect from a wild raven, but the sort of message that you intuit from it is that it is trying to shoot away. And then as you watch it kind of fluff up and kind of flap its wings out to make itself look bigger and let out one loud, like in your direction, leaving the beak open and clicking it a few times. You almost read it more like a warning than like it trying to defend this place. It seems like
It's
it's
a warning,
trying
not a
to
threat.
get you to go. Yes. And after a moment, it, unruffles itself and kind of side eyes you warily.
Crow seems worried about her well-being. Or Raven. Where the hell this black thing is.
Irvi will cock his brow and, well, I don't know how to explain this exactly, but I get the sense that, yeah, that thing's trying to warn us away. I haven't seen a raven or any other kind of bird act that way before.
I'm gonna look right at the raven, and I'm gonna start speaking Sylvan to it. I'm gonna say, "Here now, feathered foe, or face the wrath of Malar. What lays behind this windmill? Where would you go in a time like this?"
It cocks its head at you like it doesn't understand.
Is it not a beast?
It is a beast,
Okay, then it can understand my
or at
speech.
least ravens are beasts. I know.
Oh.
It cocks its head at you like it doesn't understand. It looks at you, Ervir, nods, and flies off.
Which way?
Towards the valley.
That's the way we go.
I don't know what you said, but you pissed him off. He agreed with me.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want Malar's wrath either. Smart man.
I mean, you threatened him.
How would you know?
Intelligence check, Ayakobachi. Or no, wisdom. Just give me nature. Nature. Not great. Um, I think you would clock the same thing you did as a player. Like, it should understand that. The fuck was that? And that's about all you can make of it.
Well, I'm following it, so as far as I know, it understood me, and I'm just gonna do what as best as I know that it understood me, and I'm just gonna follow it back towards the valley because that's exactly what I wanted. I want him to give me advice on which way to go.
Okay. Yeah, so the raven seems to lead you away from, and Ervir seemed in agreement.
Yeah, Narlog's not gonna want to split up, so he'll stick with his friends that he has.
I'm going with it, I suppose.
Um, as you kind of step away, you can see Irene back at the mill just anxiously. She just kind of shakes her head as she turns back towards the road and follows all of you. Think that's the right choice.
You see, Ervir,
Like I said,
Malar blesses our journey. He guides us.
Why
but
didn't
yeah,
it answer you then? It looked at me, bro.
Well, it looked at us. It's our journey.
Well, that's a pretty loose interpretation of us.
Well, I rolled bad on insight. I can't tell.
At any rate, that's one of the other places we'll have to jot down in our book
Yeah, let me throw a
once
little.
we've been able to fortify ourselves a bit.
yes.
What did you call it? The bone
It
duster?
is the old
Old
bone
bone
grinder.
Bone grinder.
And Strahd called that, yes. Let's see. Do, 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 do. Okay.
Oh no.
Um, the road continues to sort of hug the mountain here, descend into the valley. It's sort of cut into the side. Um, and this last stretch, that last hairpin, is a little precarious, especially given how damp everything is at the moment. But you pass through one last section of particularly dense and deep woods here, to the point where you lose sight of the sun a few times. But as you round this last hairpin, things open back up a little bit. This is a proper valley. There are still, woods that extend off in every direction, but rather than huddling along, kind of been logged back a little bit to make this easier to travel and also to allow what looks like it used to be farmland, but I don't know, to have been plowed here. Um, and yes, the old Svalich Road meanders into a watched over by dark, brooding mountains to the north and south. The woods recede, revealing a sullen mountain berg surrounded by a wooden palisade wall. The thick fog presses up against the wall, way inside to catch the town aslumber. The dirt road ends at a set of sturdy iron pair of shadowy figures standing behind them. Planted in the ground and flanking the road outside of the gates are a half dozen pikes whose heads impaled upon them. And as you approach, a voice would call out, "Who goes there?" behind the gate. Um,
Um,
Irina would hesitate, not sure if reveal who she is, and kind of look to the group, but
Irvir was gonna ask if she knew these guys.
afraid I'm not familiar with the Valaki Town Guard. I might have met them, but it's hard to tell the slats. It's like, iron crossbeams kind of a few inches apart. Like you can see them, but they're wearing helmets. It is foggy and miserable on this side of the gate.
Ramo, Narlog, I'm an expert at Raven communication, but I'm no good with these human people. Please.
I've read a few books written by them. I think I got this. I mean, after all, we're outsiders. They have no reason to, hate us or anything. And
Bad news
Narlock.
about the rest of the world, Narlug.
Well, yeah, don't be on the other side of an orc. I'll tell you what.
Just don't be an outsider.
Well, Narlug's still going to approach and just express, we're just travelers, friendly travelers, looking for a place to stay. We're weary from the road, and we've been told not to stay out at night. So we're hoping, maybe to find some shelter here somewhere.
They'd kind of look you up and down. And are you like a green skin orc, brown skin orc? What flavor are you?
It's right here in my bio. Grayish brown.
Grayish brown? Okay.
Or at least 2 humans in the group, at least.
I know. Well,
I do got 2 big ass bottom fangs too.
yes. I think they would not be quite sure what to make of you, though. They recognize that you're speaking perfectly acceptable common. And they kind of look past you at the rest of the group, and they spy 2 humans, one of which wearing a cloak with a hood up. This big motherfucker with tusks and an unusual skin. An elf, which is rare enough, and a tiefling. And I think that they would look at you again and turn to each other and mutter something. Ralmir, you're smooth enough in social situations. I'm not even going to roll. They are definitely debating whether they want in this door.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm just gonna just say just it's no worry though. We're not trying to cause any problems though. We're just looking for a place to sleep, just a place to sleep for the night. And then I'm just gonna do a persuasion roll.
Sure.
Mm.
10. Oh, hey, you're consistent. I think that's probably enough, let's see, to at least like placate initial suspicion because you're being very pleasant, you're not like aggressive about it. And there's a moment of between them, and one of them steps up closer to the actual gate so you can get a better look at him. Like I said, he is wearing like kind of half plate basically, like just a breastplate and shoulder guards. You can see there's basically leather armor, proper open-faced helm as well, and emblazoned on the chest is the sun symbol of the Morning Lord. Very well. Your faces are unfamiliar in these lands. I request that that lifeblood still flows through your vein. A test against the undead, it would seem. And Irina would quietly speak up to all of you. Prick of a finger to do it. They are asking to confirm that you are.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm gonna take out my dagger and I'm gonna actually like slit my arm and do some damage to myself and like bleed a lot more than I should. Like over the top of blood. Like you want one
Okay.
prick? Here's like a pint. You know what I mean? Or like maybe like a quarter. I don't want to pass out, but I'm definitely gonna cut
Sure.
myself.
Go ahead and deal a d4 damage to yourself.
Yes, I'm gonna willingly take this attack.
And then I'll just like pull up a dagger.
Oh,
Just
didn't mean to do
slice
that.
finger.
It hit me
Okay.
anyway.
It did hit you anyway. So yes, if you're just pricking a finger, go ahead and take.
You broke up. I didn't hear you about the damage.
Yeah, if you're just pricking a finger, just one.
One. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Narlock
yeah,
doesn't have health to dish out like this, so he's gonna use a little small knife and do the prick as well.
yeah, there's like a
I'm not trying to slice
Uh,
the whole arm open.
understandable. I think Ayakobachi's reaction was up, and they definitely oh, didn't need that much proof,
But
but
Millard did.
clearly, you all walk amongst the living, and they're talking to the three of them, and Irina will take her dagger and prick a finger as well. You hold up the hand, you can see, a little trickle of blood runs down the palm. They nod to her. Hervir?
Uh, like healing word or cure light wounds would be obvious. Like you
Mhm.
and can identify that.
I think you'd be gambling on whether or not these peasants would, recognize the spell. But if you were to heal Ayako,
Yeah.
making a show of it, they probably would understand that. Yes, that's what you want to do.
Yes. And
Okay.
I'm while I pray to Kellenvor to actually do this, I will say out loud after the prayer for Morning Lord, heal
Mhm.
my friend's wounds.
Interesting. Hmm. Deception, please.
Sure. There it is. What? It's thinking about it.
Yeah.
7.
He rolled a 2.
And then
Um.
let me roll my cure wounds for you.
Mhm.
Submit. You heal 11 damage.
Big heals.
Jesus, big
Thank you.
heals. So as
Hey, my
you
max
work
rolled that
this,
shit. Fuck.
right? As you work this spell and the flesh knits back together and eyes, a gasp from the one that's a little back and the one that's closer. Um, he just mutters under his breath. Um, I'm sorry for doubting you. Please, our gates are open to you. And he kind of bangs his halberd twice on the flagstones, and you can hear somewhere off to the side iron chain begins being worked through a pulley, and the gates swing inward. Uh, and yeah, as you pass your way into town, you see that the streets of this rather ramshackle city are well paved and well maintained, and the houses here have suffered less the, onslaught of time than those in Barovia village. Mostly, these are well appointed 2 or even 3-story houses. Um, and while Barovia village is quiet and people seem to hardly uh, leave their homes. Here in Valaki, people are out and about, and in fact, this could be mistaken for any number of towns. Interestingly, while the mist follows briefly behind you as you walk through the gate, as soon as it shuts again, anything that had crossed that line rapidly evaporates and disappears. And as you see that occur, you notice that here the fog, in fact, doesn't permeate these streets, at least not during the day. And almost like crossing a threshold in more ways than one, the rain lets up here slightly as well. The sky hasn't suddenly become a sunny day or anything, but the drizzle is gone. And it's just gray and overcast. And with the hustle and bustle of people around you, the smell of cooking fires, well, for the first time in days now, proper civilian activity around you, you get the sense that at least for now, you can breathe a sigh of relief. And though I hate to do it, I think that's where we'll pick up next week, if you'll forgive me, as I have things to take care of before work tomorrow. But
Probably a
Yeah, that's
decent
cool.
place
That's
to
the
call it.
2-hour mark, so.
yes, I've got a few for like after discussion, but I can't stick around as late as I have to.
So you said like these people are like a lot of wealthy people, so.
It seems I wouldn't say like wealthy, at least not in the spot right by the gate,
Right,
Not a
and
but
then
shanty
like
town.
less of a shanty town, more proper
okay, and then
and
these were the
thriving small town.
so then these were the Valakis though, so you have to like earn the coins, right?
No, so Valaki, the Vistani are the
Oh, the
gypsy.
Vistani? Okay.
This is a like seems to be more of like the
So me and
like
Lakabachi
just
can dog box people here.
probably
Yeah,
yes,
Valaki
Okay.
is the town name. Vistani are the people. Those are the
yes,
gypsies.
Okay.
yes,
There's a lot
uh,
of V's. Welcome to Romania.
yes. Welcome to Romania.
Alright.
Heck
So
yeah.
yes, this is the town of Valaki.
Okay.
And the Vistani are the folk that you met on the road here, the ones you were traveling with in the wagon. Also, the kind of rude ladies that you met in the Blood on the Vine Tavern.
Right.
And then, though they were cheerier, they are the same seemingly that Madame Eva and Sarah Encampment were as well.
Okay.
But yeah, this looks to you like I said, a small to medium sized village.
Okay.
And that is something that I will say you would immediately. There is no racial diversity here at all. Every single person that you see is
Ooh. Okay. So we stick out like a sore thumb.
you do. Yes.
So maybe I shouldn't be scamming people quite yet.
Well, when you take your long rest, you'll be leveling up to 3. So
Oh, no, I totally can scam people now then.
yeah.
'Cause I'll get this guy
Um.
elf. Cool.
Although
So
there's
yeah.
still a night ahead of us,
I was
so
gonna
we probably
say.
don't want to level up before
I,
next
I
session, but be
yes, I
ready
would
to.
not level up right now, but be prepared to partway through next session hit that character mancer,
Okay.
button.
Heck yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah,
think through what your decisions are going to be. Um, but yes, you found civilization, seemingly a place where the fog mist doesn't quite reach. So that is part of your intent. But yeah, I mean, I know not like there was a real combat this session, but so you guys did meet the big bad face to face.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there may not have been a real combat, but we avoided several TPKs,
But
so I call that a
you
W
felt
in
it.
my book.
If it
Yeah,
wasn't a
ask
combat, Irvin felt
ask
it.
Hervir whether or not it was a
Yeah,
combat. Yeah.
right.
It was a nap, is what it was. Just a
Yes.
really painful one.
Hmm. Woke up feeling like you'd been run over. But yeah,
I mean,
I
but
wasn't.
then, yeah,
Go ahead.
the show we did with Strahd though seemed to go pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah.
Seems like it
Would have
probably
went a
could have
hell
been
of
a
a
lot
lot
worse.
worse, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I also noted that he's got a cobblestone road leading to his place. I wonder if that's significant.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, the other roads that you guys encountered until you crossed into the city here in Valaki have all been like wooden or not wooden, like dirt packed,
Yeah.
like kind of shitty roads.
Just warned from people walking it. That's it. You
Right.
know?
And it seems like the area that carriage had driven off towards, like, yeah, there's a proper paved road that leads to Castle Raven.
But yeah, it's nobility.
Right.
You're gonna have another noble person ride their carriage up a dirt road? No.
Mhm.
That would be uncouth.
So I wanted to ask, because if it's going to happen next session, it'd be good to know. Because
Sure.
I'm totally down with just waiting. But
I
as
have an answer
far
for your focus.
yeah,
If
as
that's what
far
you're
as an
about to ask.
acorn,
Yes.
are we gonna dog box somebody for an acorn that's worth 200 gold pieces, or we got like
Uh,
an acorn
you're not
distributor?
going to need the gold pieces part of it. I will tell you that. If you're looking for an acorn, found
Yeah.
this is old oak and pine and whatnot.
I think if it's cool with you, what I'd like to do is at some point, if we ever do get any gold, I think we are going to get paid for helping Homie. I think he said he was going to give us money. I don't know if I took notes on that.
Yes, Ismark offered you all a collective pieces for escort.
Yeah.
She needs to
So
go.
eventually, if I ever do get that, well, we ever get that gold, I just put it aside as like a pretend like just don't spend that. Just keep that as
Mhm.
like the focus, quote unquote.
I have, to tip my hand slightly, I have an idea of who might give you what you need,
Yeah, that's cool too.
assuming that you make the right connections in the next session.
You know, Malar guide me.
We did. I think it was at the end of last session, just out of character. We were brainstorming about all the shit we're gonna need for all the stuff we could do. We're like, and I was like, well, if the Vistani can travel outside the mist, then that we need a Vistani in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Maybe they'll help us out if we can get in somebody's good graces.
Exactly.
We know
That's
they
a
like
fair
gold.
point.
Right.
Yeah, I understand that the cost of that is high, and
And I'm not like the type of person like, oh, I have freaking chaos ball. Please give me a, or no, what's it called? Chromatic spear.
Chromatic
Please give
orb.
me a diamond.
Yeah.
It's like just you'll
Yeah,
get it.
please
It's
ship
cool.
me diamonds, thanks.
Yeah, right?
Because
Yeah,
I
no.
found out that clerics can cast Glyph of Warding, and
Yep. Yes,
I
they
would like to
can.
do a lot of that.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you
They-
would.
Hope no one dies. All the diamonds are for explosive runes. Sorry, guys.
Boom.
Yeah,
That's cool.
when the
All
cleric.
I would really plan on doing in this town, other than obviously hunting down our boy Ezek and then spying on him, would I definitely want to find if there's any type of place to buy components for fucking spell scroll making. For sure. I don't know how much
You
time we're
get
gonna
the
spend in this
vibe.
town, but
I mean, I have
that
stuff
all
for that.
depends on if you make friends or enemies.
right, or we get
But
kicked out.
I started
will
with enough
say
to make
this is
10, I
sort of
believe.
the hub. And yes, you did. You started with at least the parchment that you'll need. Spell scrolls require special ink that does cost a little bit of gold. But
And I
you
would
might be
need to
able to
find a
make a
pearl
trade.
at some point.
Yes.
Yeah, based on how we make them, how you do it, I'd rather just do a bunch of level 1s or maybe try to work on like a Revivify spell scroll at some point and spend a couple hours each day working towards it. You said the only other one was
So-
like 2 weeks in game, so it's not a ton of time, but that's plenty enough time to make like at
Well,
least
it all
one.
comes down to how you
you play it too. Yeah.
So
I like making spell scrolls. I think they're fun, especially level 1s, because it's like there's a lot of fun utility level 1 spells to just have on you for a situation. It's kind of
for
fun.
sure. But like if you think about how long you've actually been here, right?
Right. A
So
day.
you've been here for a day and a few hours.
Yeah. Not long.
So and a lot's happened in that amount of time. And yeah, largely what it was is that they did backtrack a lot because you kind of end up doing so just given how many
Based on
different
how
quests
this
you
is
get.
filled up. Makes sense.
But it's not a long travel to backtrack. This isn't like, oh shit, we have to travel 10 days back to, the nearest town. It's an afternoon to get mostly anywhere from the
That's
key.
pretty cool. I like that.
But yeah, I mean, probably unsurprisingly, it's kind of central on the map. This ends up being sort of a hub area if you want to.
It's like, can we make it to there before dark? Fuck it, we'll stay here.
Which is actually kind of interesting. I don't think the other group ever traveled at night. I won't say anything more about it.
Makes sense.
But
Spooky.
yeah, there are things that did not get encountered because there was no nighttime travel.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get eaten by a grue, so let's continue to do that.
We're eaten by a lurking crew. Good old Zork.
Right.
But yeah,
that was fun.
I think today went well. All things. And I know we're kind of coming at this in bite-sized bits, but I kind of like that. That allows me to feel focused for a few hours, kind of take a break until the next
Yeah, it
one.
lets you flesh out a lot more. You're not, we're not being rushed through anything.
Yeah. And also it's just not dragging on forever. I've definitely made the mistake of we're going for 7 hours.
Oh no, I don't have
Falling
the brain
apart.
capacity for that.
No, we learned that mistake with the Resident Evil campaign. We did 4 hours and everyone was just like a zombie at the end. I think we did 5 hours actually. We went fucking hard one time.
Yeah, the first sessions were really long.
My arrows are shitty.
After a while, I'm just.
But then again, it's hard to get that many dudes together.
Yeah.
You just want to get as much done as you can.
Yeah. So is everybody tentative for next Monday?
So that's what I was just
Most
about to
likely.
bring up.
Yeah, I'm good.
So next Monday, I'll create an event. That's in the voice channel. What is this going to be? Session 5?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And that will be next Monday. Starts at 5 o'clock my time. Right event. The link.
Heck yeah.
Open the events channel.
Boom.
And yes, this next week I will be good for. The following week, almost certainly not. I apologize.
That's fine.
I will have been at a camping festival all weekend. Dragged my ass out of a tent that morning and have to get packed up and back here the next day. So I think,
Problem. I mean, we do like a couple sessions and take a week off, though. You know, that's
yeah.
fine.
As far as I know, I should be good next week too. I know that I have a trip to Ohio coming up eventually, but I
Okay.
need to get that date locked in still.
Fair enough. Back to Avery.
Yeah. Although, honestly, if I leave early enough in the day, I can probably hotel fine too. So it's probably not that big of a deal actually,
Fair enough.
as long as I get on the road in time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So then let's plan on next week. Like I said, the week take off. I don't mind running weekly. Again, with totally fine. Allows me to prep in bite-sized chunks. So I think that works out well.
Mhm. Yeah, I like this
Uh,
map, like right here. It's perfect.
Yeah, I'm glad I did this because it does let you guys take notes and all of that. And I
Keeps me
like the
engaged.
I like the BBs at Barovia boys.
Yep.
Yep.
Perfect. Yes, I think that's really good too to have like a party mark.
It just keeps me
We're
ramping
engaged
up,
on
and
like
I
when you
really
tell
need a
me a
pee.
spot, I like put, and now I'm looking at that spot. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Right.
Not that that does anything, but it just helps me like focus
No,
on where we're
for
at.
sure.
Ugh, perfect time. My headphones are just about to die.
All
I
right.
just heard the
Well,
beep.
yes. I was just about to step away anyway, but
Yeah, good
thank you for
shit.
playing, everybody. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Oh
guys,
yeah.
we'll see you again.
Yeah, I'll catch you all sometime soon.
Yep.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Bye bye.
Where we going?
Shit.
Yeah.
Y'all watching this game?
Yeah, I'm putting it on right now.